everyone, and welcome to another review from Colour with Claire. Today we're looking at the new book from Anastasia, Elly, Koldareva. This is Nocturnes, and this is the sequel to the beautiful Mysteria, which was released late last year, I think. Absolutely gorgeous book, and this is no different. It is stunning. So just to give you the kind of physical features first, it's 26 by 27 centimeters, so almost square. It's got a spiral binding, as you can see, and on the back there is a piece of thick board for you to have something to lean on, so you don't have to go and run and find a hardback book like I normally do when I'm colouring on my lap. As you can see, full colour image on the front cover, and this really does depict the kind of artwork that's inside, just like Mysteria. Beautiful close-up portrait pictures and illustrations, and it really does not disappoint. So this is the first page, and as you can see it says belongs to here, so it is kind of a book belongs to page, but if you wanted to cover that up you probably could with some acrylic paint or something similar and just have this as its own standalone page. Now they're not perforated, these sheets, but with it being spiral bound it's pretty easy to remove one and trim off the excess if you wanted to display and frame it. So second image, we've got this beautiful lady, side view, dripping with pearls and jewels and gems, the birds nestled on top. And then the next is this gorgeous lady. She's got the kind of dreadlock plaits coming down with all the big chunky beads in there. Very exotic looking. The feather also coming out of the beads. She looks like she's got some horns, or maybe she's stood in front of some antlers. I don't know. You can interpret it however the way you like. We've got more feathers and things here, so it's beautiful. Just a beautiful illustration. They all are. So here we've got an underwaterish kind of scene, so I'm thinking mermaid. She's got barnacles on her skin, she's got coral and anemone, I think I said it right the first time, to be honest, anemone in her hair, and that kind of creates her hair actually. You can't really see too much of it, so gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Next up we've got the wolf and I don't know, you can't really own a wolf, can you? The wolf and her companion then, let's say, rather than owner. And beautiful, beautiful fishtail braids, very loose, very bohemian with the headband. Then we've got we've come out a little bit, so we've got more of the lady here. We've got the clavicle and the chest and the arms. Again, great for you to be practicing different types of skin on different areas of the body. You can see these beautiful little lanterns here. They're kind of like glass baubles with little candles inside just hanging down from these lovely succulents. This one's got a border to it, and it is very Egyptian looking. We've got the cat, we've got the kind of Cleopatra thing going on with the makeup and the huge elaborate headdress, the dreadlocks and the gorgeous ornate jewellery. We've got some proper dreadlocks here. I don't know what would you call these? They're just kind of like plaits, aren't they, really? But these are real proper dreadlocks. And again, I just love the variety of different hair, different looking ladies. You know, they're not all exactly the same carbon copied face. And loads of butterflies and moths all hanging around there. So really interesting to actually have proper kind of messy dreadlocks in a colouring page. You don't see that very often. Here we've got a kind of oriental themed page. I'm not sure what these are. I'm sure I do know, but I can't remember at the moment. And I absolutely adore the hair on this one. You can see it's just crazy hairstyle I've got going on. So we've got the updo, we've got the plait, then we've got the kind of pigtails coming down in curls and spirals. Beautiful kind of lacy, what do you call that? Like a bolero or like a shrug. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Here we've got another amazing hairstyle. So it's kind of in that sort of Gary Oldman's Dracula sort of style with the two kind of horns coming up from the side of the head, some hair coming down here. I actually love this hairstyle. I mean, how awesome would that be with this really beautiful headdress with pearls and things hanging down? Kind of something you'd wear to a ball or something like that. Then we've got this really fun illustration of the pirate girl. She's got her belt buckles and straps and all sorts of things, and her little parrot friend, of course. Big feathers coming out the back of the hat as well. This one's kind of got a bit of a grayscale feel to it as well. There's a lot more shading on this one. This is beautiful. This reminds me of a like a vampire's, maybe it could even be a female vampire, like a vampiress, or it could be a vampire's charge, you know, someone who they have taken off to their castle in the middle of the night. And the bats and the big moon behind her, that would be an awesome nighttime scene to do. We've then got this Alice in Wonderland inspired illustration. So we've got the big clock behind her here with the Roman numerals looking very old and cracked and broken. We've got the drink me bottle, we've got the rabbit, we've got the Cheshire cat. In the hat that the cat is wearing, we have some cards, some cotton reels, and some kind of knitting needle type things. And of course, we've got Alice herself. Another gorgeous illustration. It's kind of like American Beauty. Remember that film where she's surrounded by petals? But this is succulents, which seem to be the rage at the moment, don't they? Succulents. I've got a few cacti, but I've not got any succulents yet, but I absolutely love them. There's a lot of things you can do with succulents in terms of colouring, because there's so many different colours to them. They're not all green. Oftentimes you'll find pinks and oranges kind of just flowing out of the green, and it's a really good opportunity for blending. This is another awesome one, kind of dark but exotic as well. You've got these big palm leaves behind her. You've got the tarantula on her head, and yeah, the spider web tattoo beneath her eyes. Also some webs here with some spider's lunch caught in her shoulder there as well. Here we've got an owl with this gorgeous lady with her curly hair. Curly hair always scares me because there's just so much of it and there's so many different sections to colour. It just scares me a little bit, but hopefully I'll become more confident with that. But yes, it's another kind of nighttime scene with the owls. Obviously this book's called Nocturnes, so it features a lot of animals that are nocturnal and come out at night. So here we've got a few moths, we've got gorgeous, beautiful, kind of almost beach waved hair here. Again, loads of opportunity for different kinds of hair colouring. Here we've got a gorgeous sort of gilded frame behind this lady. Another beautiful tied back hairstyle and some gorgeous sheer fabric to try and colour. Here's the lady from the front cover. And as you can see, it's got lots of shading to it, so you'll know where to put your highlights and shadows fairly easily. But again, you can just reference back to the front cover. And that is another really good tip, actually. If you're wondering about how to colour shadows and highlights on faces, a really good tip would be to just go through Instagram or Pinterest, look at other people's colouring. And I'm not saying this in a way as you go and carbon copy someone else's colouring, but if you look at a colourist's work who you really admire, you will then be able to just sort of plot out where they've put their shadows, and that will really help you along. That's exactly what I do. I did the Alice in Wonderland illustration for Creative Happy Life last month, and I actually used her finished digital coloured piece to plot where I was going to put my shadows on Alice's face. So it's a really good tip, that. This is kind of like a masquerade ball. So is it Victorian times when they used to have those things? You can see we've got the beautiful elaborate mask. We've got all the roses in her hair. And these aren't, you know, beautiful, perfect roses, what you would find. These look like real roses, all kind of crinkled and satiny. We've then got the Medusa type of illustration. So obviously, as with the Alice one, it's not a carbon copy. I said carbon copy about 3 times now in this review. It's not a copy, an exact copy of, you know, the typical Medusa or the typical Alice in Wonderland. It's Anastasia's rendering of them. So all the snakes in the hair, it almost, I think there's branches coming out of the hair as well. And she does have some scales here on her skin, just indicating that she's not totally human. And then here's the one that I've finished. As you can see, you've probably seen this already if you follow me on social media, because I did post it earlier this afternoon when it was finished. I coloured this with Holbein pencils and Prismacolor, but mainly Holbein. So I did Holbein for the skin, the eyes, the hair. What did I do the Prismacolors on? I think I just did the Prismacolor on the cat because the Holbeins didn't have any French greys and I knew I needed some French grey. So I think everything else was done with Holbein. And yeah, I really like it. To be honest with you, I did the face first, and at the start the lips really annoyed me. I did an image in Bella Futura by Jennifer Zimmerman not long ago, and it ended up looking really sort of masculine because I made the lips look like these huge drag queen lips by accident, and then I couldn't fix them. And I kind of almost did the same on this, but hopefully I've saved it somewhat, but you know, hopefully everything else takes away from it. But I really like how the hairless cat turned out, because I was quite concerned that I wasn't going to be able to pull that off, but thankfully I think I did. I like how the skin looks sort of matte and very, very soft but not shiny. Next up, we've got another owl, and the lady that's holding the owl looks like something out of Game of Thrones. So this beautiful kind of Winterfell, what's this? It's kind of an animal skin, collar and cuff, beautiful, beautiful dress, and again, pearls and things all the way around the hair. We've got another large succulent flower in this lady's hair, another oriental inspired image. We've got this kind of African looking lady who, again, we've got the dreadlocks, we've got loads and loads of different jewellery. Be really, really fun to do some bright punchy colours on this, oranges and purples, and gorgeous, gorgeous illustration. As you can see, the lady is nude underneath all of this jewellery, and it's just so tasteful and so beautiful. Absolutely love it. Here we've got the horse, and the horse looks like it has some steampunk embellishments coming down throughout its mane. And this lady looks a bit steampunk as well, with her belts and buckles and things, so that would be really cool to do it in that sort of aesthetic. We've got another lady with bats, and this time there are loads of thistles, I think they're thistles, coming out of her hair, and she's looking straight into the camera, so to speak. I just love how these ladies, and also in the previous book that I reviewed the other day, what was that? It was the Colouring Heaven with, let me think, what was her name? Christine Caron's illustrations. They really seem to resonate and look out of the page at you. This is a lady made, oh, she's got a beautiful dress. It's almost made of flowers. Beautiful, beautiful. We've got what look like poppies all the way around. She's looking at one there, sniffing it. What's in the background? I can't really tell. I need to step back and have a look at this. It's quite difficult sometimes with these very, very busy pages to sort of figure out what's going on in the background, but I don't think there really is anything. I think this is her dress, sort of continuing here, but beautiful illustration. Again, you can see going through this book the difference in complexity. So there are busy images like this, there's very, very big images like this where there's not much to it, but you know, there's a lot of space to cover. So I think that Anastasia has really given us a good variety and a balanced variety of images there. Now, you're probably wondering where to get this from. So if you want to buy a copy of Nocturnes, you must go to Anastasia's website, which is creativeelly.ru. Link will be in the description. And as you can maybe see here, I don't know about the light actually, Anastasia is saying that the price of the book is $20 US and shipping and handling charges $19 US. So it is quite an expensive book as books go. Most of that is obviously in the shipping costs because it's shipped from, I believe, is she a Russian artist? I should know this. I'm sure I told you about it in the Mysteria review, but I believe that's where she's shipping from, so it's obviously quite expensive to ship worldwide. But this really is a book that you would want to treat yourself to. It is absolutely stunning, and it's going to take, you know, it's going to take a long time to colour all of these images in. You really are getting your money's worth, I think, especially with the quality of the illustrations, the time that's gone into it, the talent, and also the paper is really, really good as well, because I almost forgot to mention that. It does have a very light tooth to it, perfect for coloured pencil, as you saw in my finished piece. It's bright white and it is really thick, and obviously it is one-sided, so you can use alcohol markers, you can use paint, you can go mad. So please let me know what you think of the book in the description. I'm sure it's all going to be good things. Sorry for rambling on yet again, but I think you can tell that I absolutely adore this book, and as always, check the links in the description for you to go and get your copy, and I will see you soon on Colour with Claire.